Greetings, everyone. Hope all of you are having an absolutely fantastic day. We are back again with the Treasure of the Midnight Isles, a new DLC for Pathfinder Wrath of the Righteous. There are several new mechanics in this DLC, and I figured many of you would appreciate some guidance about how to get through this content. In this video are a few tips that you will hopefully find useful. My very last tip is a small spoiler, so I will provide a warning before we get to that part of the video. With all that being said, let's get started. My first tip is don't get bogged down for an extended period of time trying to figure out what the classes are going to be for you and your party members. Many of you are having trouble getting past Act 1 in the main game due to the wealth of different class options that are available. Rogue-lite games are all about getting wiped and having to start over anyway. If your build is terrible, the game will put you out of your misery, and you'll have the opportunity to do something completely new. Don't waste hours hand-wringing trying to find a perfect build that doesn't exist. Pull up the class list, close your eyes, put your finger on the screen, and whichever class you land on, roll it. My second tip is to make sure you pick up your free party member at the port. In roguelite mode, you start at a port in Illusionera, and if you head all the way to the other side of the map, you will find the Angler. He essentially serves the same role as Hiller in Dresden, allowing you to recruit and retrain party members. If you talk with him before heading to your ship, he will charge you 3,000 gold to get a new party member, which you most certainly will not have. If you head down to the port, you can talk with the helmsman, who will call in your ship to start the adventure. Your journal will update and tell you to go back to see the Angler, but the helmsman doesn't say anything. Consequently, it's very easy to miss that a free party member is available to you. Make sure after talking with the helmsman, you make your way back to the Angler and pick up your first party member before starting your adventure. My third tip is that there are little to no opportunities for you to persuade or intimidate anyone during conversations in the DLC content. Therefore, unless your builder class benefits from it, you can safely dump charisma. Sticking with setting up builds, my fourth tip is to take Shake It Off as the first feat for everyone in your party. Shake It Off is a teamwork feat that increases the saves of your party members based upon how many characters in the party currently have it. Essentially, it will give your entire party a +4 increase to saves. If you looked at my review, you already know that many traps in my DLC playthrough were bugged in a way where I could not pick them up. At the same time, many of them were placed in a way where I had to walk over them to get to enemies. Some of these traps are devastating, and having high saves will increase the survivability of all your party members in these situations, not to mention helping you against enemies throughout the DLC. My fifth tip is the last one related to your builds, and is to make sure you have most of the different skills covered. Trickery is of course going to be critical for opening locked chests and picking up traps. By that same token, your frontliners need high perception to ensure your party will see the traps before triggering them. When not docked at the port, you will gain corruption while resting, so religion is very important as well. Trickery and various knowledge skills are checked when attempting to use statues throughout the DLC that provide helpful buffs to your team. In some cases, these buffs make your playthrough significantly easier, so it's worth investing to ensure you can pass those checks. My sixth tip is to pay attention to island rewards in roguelite mode. Each island that you can play through will provide a different specific reward. In the beginning, I highly recommend you focus on islands that will give you more party members. Once you have a full team, I believe islands that increase your mythic rank should be your top priority. After this, the question becomes, what is your focus? If you want to make your current team stronger, then focus on rewards that increase XP, saves, and attributes, or you can even focus on gaining more money to buy superior equipment. If you know you are experimenting and expect to get wiped, then it makes more sense to focus on rewards that will make your subsequent playthroughs easier. The legacy reward will increase the starting level of new parties, which is obviously a huge boon when doing a new run. My seventh tip is to make sure you thoroughly read all the undertows your party can be afflicted with on an island. undertows are essentially effects that can impact your party in a variety of ways, including knocking them prone or spawning enemies next to party members who cast arcane spells. Many undertows can be removed from your party with Dispel Magic or Restoration, but you won't know this without looking at the description. If you see a symbol you don't recognize in the lower left, click it immediately so that you know what's coming. Quick note before we get to my last, slightly spoilery tip. If you enjoyed this video, I would really appreciate you hitting the like button. This information tells me which content the channel is enjoying and helps my videos spread to more people. I really appreciate all of the support. Alright, one more time, I'd like to warn everyone this final tip is a small spoiler for the story. I do say small because I don't consider it groundbreaking, especially if you have already completed the main game, but if you want to make sure you are completely unspoiled, now is the time to jet. 1, 2... Alright, if you are still here, I think it's worth pointing out that in Rogue-lite mode, the story seemed to be advanced by giving the helmsman Nahindrian crystals. These can only be found on islands where an increase in your mythic level is the reward. I know some of you will play this DLC for the challenge, and therefore, you might try to purposely skip these islands to brave the opposition without mythic power. You of course are welcome to do so, but just know it might very well extend the time of your roguelite run. Those are all the tips I had for the DLC. If there is any other content regarding the Treasure of the Midnight Isles that I haven't released but you want to see, please let me know. Hope all of you enjoyed this video. If you did, please leave me a like, share this content, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I will see you all in the next video. Take care.